What is going on, everybody? Hi. Welcome in. Today's going to be a fun one. I am going to do... I'm going to answer all of your guys' questions. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I know some of you have kind of reached out in YouTube comments, Discord, stuff like that, which is really cool, and I appreciate that. But I'm also... I like to... I guess give back is the right thing. I like to be open and honest, so... And I'm sure there's some questions you guys have. I will say... it isn't ask me anything, but there are some things that are off limits, like my kids' names, what they look like, things like that. I'm always going to do stuff to protect the kids, but other than that, I'll pretty much answer whatever you want me to answer. Yeah, so we'll let some people get in here. I also wanted to kind of watch a video that I came upon right before this. All right. So that's what we're gonna do today. We can also do some reactions if you all would like. I think I'm going to do one or two, no matter what, by the end of this. But if y'all would like to react, same, rules as usual. So it'll be fun to get into that. We'll go from there. All right. Like I said, welcome in. We are going to have some fun today. I actually saw, well, I've seen a bunch of streamers or content creators do this where they kind of go live and just talk with their community. But I've been wanting to do it for a little while. I haven't really had time to do it just because I just haven't had time. I've been wanting to do this for a little bit, so glad we could get to do it today. Where the hell did that go? Did I make this shit? That's public. Never mind. All right. Carissa, happy Friday. So glad it's Friday. I've had the longest week. I've had such a long week. I'm glad to be here. Welcome in. I'm going to wait for some more people to get in here. The plan for today is to kind of answer some questions, anything you guys might have for me, anything like that. But we're going to hang out today. I'm going to do some reactions. Hello, TCF. How are you? Welcome in. Yeah, it's been a crazy week. The last, I think, 4 or 5 days, the whole week has been ridiculous. Just life and work in general, but we're here now. My chat is not working. What else is new? Finally Friday. Yeah, it's only halfway done for me. So, but it's almost there. I'm excited for the weekend. Probably going to swim most of the weekend with the kids. Have a good old time. But yeah, we're here. Going and chill in the pool while chatting. Good for you. You should. Don't know why this does not want to work. Well, we have... I don't know. What is Curso? What is Ragbri? I have no idea what that is. My pool's only an inflatable one in the garden. Nothing fancy. I mean, we used to have an above ground. We had an inflatable, then we had an above ground, and now we upgraded a little while ago just because we didn't want to like put a pool in our house just because we weren't sure if we were going to stay here for other reasons. But we ended up deciding that we are going to stay. So it gets to like 120 out here, or it can at least. So we made the plunge. But yeah, I grew up with pools, so like I'm one of the ones that's like always in the pool swimming and stuff. So, but I'll never get out. If somebody were never to tell me to get out, I would never get out. Mandatory to learn to swim in Iceland. Bicyclists riding from one side of the state. That's crazy. So they're gonna go through your town or through your city. That's crazy. I feel like that would be cool to like go and just watch. Have a day where you go out and watch. It's mandatory to learn to swim in Iceland. Is that because there's like this? Don't get mad if this sounds stupid, but is it because there's so much ice out there and if it melts, you have to be able to swim? Huh? Huh? I mean, only way that I'm bicycling in that heat is if I'm shit-faced drunk, just being honest. So in other words, that makes sense to me. Like, I barely want to be outside sitting when it's 111. They're biking in 111? Ain't no way I'm doing that. No way I am doing that. All right, I want to listen to music, so I'm gonna put my headphones on. There we go. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. Really don't understand why. Remove this. I then came through my store today and looked absolutely. I mean, 111's hot. Like, so where I used to live, the hottest it would get would be like in the 90s, and I would complain so much about it. And then now where we live, the hottest it gets is like 120-ish, like that realm of stuff. And 90's nothing now compared to that. Yeah, where are you? That's 111. I'm curious. What is it today where I'm at? Let me see. It's 85 right now. That's nice. Whoa. Where is it? There. Oh, you're in Iowa? It gets hot out there? I'm in California, but I'm in NorCal where it gets like pretty hot. Going to be like VMCF, what's good? Got to 95 here with heat index of 105 because of humidity. Pennsylvania. I mean, I don't remember it ever getting like this hot when I was younger, so I'm not gonna say nothing about any like climate change or anything, but I know for sure it didn't get this hot before. I'm gonna say, or maybe it did and I just blocked it out because I was so traumatized, you know. But I feel like, so here, this AC right here is, I had an old AC in here and it was for 150 square foot. My office is only 100 square foot. It's pretty small, but The one that was for 100 square foot or 150 square foot did not get hot at all and would not go below like 87 in here. So I got one. This one works, but it stays on all day to keep me cool. Is for 500 square feet. So it gets balls hot out here. It's ridiculous. -40. The difference between -40 and 111, that's crazy. I don't mind the snow. My family hates the snow, but I love the snow. I always tell them I'd rather be cold than hot, because you can always put more layers on. You can't keep taking layers off. I mean, if it gets too hot, I mean, I might go crazy enough to like take a layer of skin off, you know, if it gets too hot. No, but you can always put layers on. You can't keep taking layers off. I like how when I was a kid, one could get in the shade and be comfortable. I lived in this San Joaquin Valley in San Jose, bro. So VMCF, I'm from the Bay Area. I used to live in the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area. So right around where I used to be. That's crazy. All right. We got some people in here. So now that everybody's here, what we're doing is, if you guys have been here before when I did the, San Francisco is amazing, but it definitely can get super dirty. If you go to like bad parts of town, it's nasty. But downtown's really cool. The Golden Gate Bridge is definitely a place to see. Fisherman's Wharf is definitely a place to go. I lived in the Bay Area for 28 years. No, 23 years. And what do you call it? I lived there for 23 years. I lived in San Francisco for like 6 of them, and I never ever went to the Golden Gate Bridge until like 2 years before I moved away. So I think if you do go, you should always at least check that out, because it's definitely a sight. Ride the BART up to Frisco a lot, and BART sucks now. They like do not take care of it. It's nasty. Okay, what we're doing today. So, if you guys have been here before, I've done like the paid reactions. We can still do that. I have a couple reactions, definitely one that I want to film with you guys here in the chat. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some of that, but mostly it's an ask me anything. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask me or anything like that, you can by all means definitely do that. And I'll answer pretty much everything. I don't think anybody was in here yet, but there's some stuff that is off limits. So it's an asterisk, ask me anything. Anything that has to do with like my kids' names or who they are, what they look like, stuff. I'm not going to answer that just because, you know, my kids are off limits essentially. But what's it called? So we're doing that. You can ask. There's no, you know, you don't have to donate or anything or go. You can just type the questions in chat and I'll ask. I'll react to them. So we're doing that today. If there aren't any questions, I'm going to start going in and doing some of the reactions I had planned, and then we can kind of shoot the shit from there. No worries, VMCF. Bart was cool. Like, I think as a kid and like as a grown up now, like I'm 33, and your tastes, or not tastes, what you can tolerate kind of changes. Like I have less toleration for like dirtiness and not being upkept. So Bart back, it's probably been the same, but now I notice how badly, like how dirty it is in there. You have like homeless people sleeping on the Bart, pissing and shitting in the corner and stuff, and they don't clean it up. Stuff like that. But that's like the bad stuff about the Bay Area. Before we get started, there's something I wanted you guys. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. But literally, like, as I ate lunch literally right before I got on here, and I saw he literally just filmed this, and then I don't know, BP, I don't know. I literally saw this as I was eating my lunch right before I came on. And I think it's important to. I think it's important. Never been one of. You saw I didn't like. Where did you see I didn't like it? If you didn't watch the video, it's a little bit of a bias, Krista. So I don't. I'm not a huge fan of like the rock pop ballads. I think they're overdone. If you watch my reaction, I don't, you know, I listen to the song and I don't just start shitting on it. I have more positive things to say than negative things. Like literally, I think I counted and it was like there was 12 positive things I had to say and like maybe 2 negative. So like there's not that much. I just don't like the pop type of ballads. I think I also hold that song, the original, dear to my heart. Rostock, I don't have. Thank you for following the channel, Rostock. Let me answer this question and then I'll talk about that. I just don't really like the pop ballads and stuff, but I also hold that original song dear to my heart. There's a lot of people who, when they heard the reimagining of Lost Resort, that they're like, I didn't realize how sad these lyrics are. It's like, I knew that song helped me through a lot of shit back then, and I think it resonated more with me back then because when you're sad or anything like that, when you're younger, it's all anger, it's all angst, right? But when it's what do you call it? When it's when you're older, I think the new one resonates with you more. But I think it just, the old one, the original version did so much for me that I think I was expecting more out of this one. And I had never heard, I still haven't heard any other reimagined stuff from them. But I know that they do that. They're kind of like pop ballads for all the reimagined stuff. So I didn't know that. If I had knew that going in, I probably would have liked it a little bit more. But no, look, I gave praise to Ronnie's voice. I gave praise to the musicianship, the composition. All that stuff was crazy good. His voice. Oh, I appreciate that. No, and I see things differently too as a musician. And honestly, if I'm just listening to something like in my car or while I'm working or whatever, I'm not analyzing it, right? When I go onto these reactions, I try to analyze every little thing. So like, that's also a thing. Let me put it this way. The original is leaps and bounds better. I didn't dislike that other one. I just am not a fan of those pop ballad remakes. Especially when the songs are so good. You don't need to go in and change it to be pop ballady. But I like Ronnie and I like Falling in Reverse, so there's that. Okay, let me see something here real quick. See if this works. I don't know why it's not showing my YouTube chat, so I'll have to figure that out later. You're good, Avio. You're good. Chris, I appreciate that you like I enjoyed it a lot, but it did sound more like a movie score than an actual song. Yeah, I think what bothered me too. I'm a person that is super against overproduction and not auto tuning, but pitch correcting musicians that don't need to be pitch corrected. And I have a video that I made for members only. It should be up on my Patreon for free, but where I go, like, I talk about two of the best singers out there right now, and they even pitch correct them. So, and it's not the artist that's doing that. It's the production companies going after they've recorded and left that they go in and pitch correct. And there's obvious pitch correction on Ronnie's voice, and they don't need to pitch correct his voice. So that rubbed me the wrong way as well too. And I mentioned that on there, but I think once you get into that realm, it kind of takes away the authenticity of it too. And I don't like that. So those are just like the main things why I didn't particularly like it that much. Aviar, you're good for being here. Rostock, I'm not gonna discuss the war between Israel and Palestine right now because I do not know enough about it. I appreciate you coming in here and following and stuff, but I just don't know enough to talk on it, and I'm one of those people that I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. So, but yeah, I do not know why. Very weird. Anyway, it's not important. About the pitch correct. Yeah. And usually what happens is like he might have wavered a little bit on the note. Nobody's perfect. I mean, there's in my video, I also watch another video by Wings of Pegasus where he like shows the pitch correction and how you can tell. And he uses Freddie Mercury as a control where he's supposed to be one of the most accurate singers of all time. And he shows how he wavers a lot. And sometimes the production companies, whoever's producing, they get too like, this needs to be perfect, so they do it. I just think it takes away the emotion. I think, you know, the thing I love about Ren and Chinchilla is they don't do any of that stuff. Like if they waver, if they make a mistake, you hear it. They're human, right? So I think that was part of it. But look, like I said, I still like the artistry of it. I still like the composition, and his voice is obviously amazing, and it's always amazing. But the way he was like, just the way he goes into from his angelic singing to the rock singing and stuff was really, really cool. But if you haven't watched it yet, you should definitely watch it. My reaction, because I go into detail about it. Really weird why it's not picking up YouTube. Give me 2 seconds. I want to see if I can fix this, and then if not, we're gonna get into it. Give me one second. reload. Turn it on. Hey, one question to a lot of topic. Do you watch true crime? I used to. My wife's super big on that stuff, and then once we had kids, she kind of got scared to watch them, which totally understandable. But no, not really anymore. I sometimes have like weird. I have like other content creators reacting to true crime in the background while I'm working sometimes if I'm in the mood for it. But other than that, not really. But I am interested in true crime. What's up, VMCF? All right, before I get too sidetracked, and then these questions are great, by the way. These are the type of questions I'll answer all day. You can ask personal questions to us. So I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I think I'm just gonna have to do this. Let's do this. Okay. Okay. All right. So I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm gonna mute this. Ren posted go away, Apex. Ren posted a little video about his million. And I was curious, obviously I was curious about what he was gonna say. So I watched it right before I got on here. And he talked about a lot of important stuff, and he got emotional and all that stuff. But I think I want to watch it a little bit with you guys because a lot of it is very important stuff that he talks about, especially for people who might be struggling. I don't know if you guys saw this. Raise a hand if anybody saw this. Yes. Okay. Yes. Saw it. Okay, so let's watch it because like I said, I think it's important. And then like I usually do, I'll stop here and there to kind of talk about some of the stuff I think are important. It was already there. Awesome sauce. Okay. All right, so let's watch it. Now, I haven't been able to consume anything too emotional for the past week or so. Well, I'm going to watch it. It's not like overly emotional. He just gets emotional about what he talks about, but I think it's important. So let's watch it.
A million subscribers on YouTube, which is flipping a huge milestone.
Let me start it over.
I want to keep this short and sweet because I wrote something that I want to share with you. But first of all, I just want to say how grateful I am. I've reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is flipping a huge milestone. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported my music over the years, whether you're newly on board or have been here for a while. I wanted to say thank you to the YouTube reaction community who have gotten behind my stuff in a big way and really helped me reach this goal. So thank you guys. Yeah, I wanted to read this passage that I wrote about success. It's too much for me to remember right now, so bear with me. But yeah, success to me means that I have a responsibility that transcends me. If I have a platform where people are paying attention, then I feel like it's my duty to make that count. It's far more important than my aspirations with music and what I could personally gain. There's a saying that stuck with me recently, which was a rising tide lifts all ships. Somehow, by finding success for myself has meant that I can find success for the people around me. and that makes me feel very rich. I'm in a very strange position right now where I owe much of my success to the most destructive force in my life, which has been the turbulence of my physical and mental illness. The thing that has by far brought me the most pain has been a source of constant inspiration, which ironically led to creations which brought me the most joy. Creating art which means something to somebody else and can potentially be a companion to somebody else in the dark justifies my own pain, and I desperately needed that to be justified. There are a lot of people alive today who live in the dark. It's a place that I'm very familiar with. In the peak of my health problems, I was severely underweight. All my meals had to be restricted and blended, and I was so tired that I couldn't participate in life. I couldn't socialize, I couldn't watch films, I couldn't read. My bones constantly hurt. Even standing in the shower was excruciating and exhausting. And
so, I'm back it up a little bit. I think, I mean, those of us who are huge fans of Ren know that he's been through this stuff. But I think hearing him talk about it like this kind of makes it more like apparent what he's going through. I think it's really important that he mentioned that he basically has his ailments to thank for all of the success he's had. I think it's not lost on a lot of us that like without those troubles, without that grief, without that pain, without his sickness, that a lot of these like heartfelt emotional pieces that he's created wouldn't exist, especially High Ren, right? High Ren, that's where I found him. That's where a lot of people found him. And that's what brought him to the forefront. But I think him mentioning how he has his illness to thank for that, I'm sure is very like an emotional experience for him. And it's also very humbling, but it's also very scary for him because to think that he went through all of that pain to, and without that pain, he wouldn't have the success. I don't know how much I believe that. Side note, I don't know how much I believe that because he is talented. It would have been different, but I don't think it would have, he wouldn't have been popular or whatever, successful. But I really do think that that's got to scare him a little bit. The fact that he knows that without that, there wouldn't be any success, right? Or there wouldn't be as much success, I guess, is the right thing to say. But it's very, very, very... I'm glad that he mentioned that because it's important that people realize that the negative things in your life can become positive things in your life. And I think it's important for people to hear that. But I want to continue this now and keep going.
I couldn't participate in life. I couldn't socialize, I couldn't watch films, I couldn't read. My bones constantly hurt. Even standing in the shower was excruciating and exhausting. And this went on for years, with no answers. Nobody could have ever convinced me during that time that my pain and suffering would be a source for something good, because it felt insidious. Nobody could have ever convinced me that something constructive can come from hurting every day. But I'm here to tell you that if you are hurting every day, don't be afraid. One thing I know to be a certain, to be a constant law of the universe, is that life is inconsistent. Life is beautiful and life is hideous. Life is kind and life is cruel. Dancing inside this dichotomy and inconsistency makes me know that you won't hurt forever, whether that comes from resolution of what you're going through or acceptance of where you are. You won't hurt forever. You don't know yet whether...
I think that right there is, you won't hurt forever. I think a lot of people, I've been thinking about it quite a bit, starting with Hiren and then what he talks about in Sick Boy, specifically the part I want to talk about. Yeah, I think, Javier, but I think that is because of what he's going through. The only way, honestly, that I think, well, there's two things, but I think the only way he can get through what he get through is if he found himself and he became, like you said, self-aware and realized what he needed to do to get better, right? There's a lot of soul searching. I mean, the benefits of not being able to get out of bed is he had the time to just sit there and soul search, sit there and find himself. And I think that is what's going to keep him from becoming those, those famous people who can't handle the pressure, can't handle the notoriety, can't handle, the bad things that come. A lot of people make fun of celebrities, like for instance, the writer strikes going on right now. Oh, poor rich people, they're not making a lot of money anymore. It's like their problems are problems to them. Just because you don't understand why those are problems doesn't mean that they aren't their problems. They don't have anything else to compare to. Ren has so many issues to compare to other stuff. So, what some celebrities might not be able to come back from, he's been there, he's done that, he can come back from it. So that's silver lining of what he's gone through. But I think it's powerful that he says, you'll be okay. You will eventually get through this. Because a lot of people, Joe, his friend Joe included, they don't think that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And I've been there, man. I know how that is. And I still currently right now I'm having days where I get into the funk so bad that just like the lyrics in Chalk Outlines, I'm afraid now to be okay, because once I'm okay, I'm going to taste it and I don't want it to go back anymore. But let's finish this real quick. Why did I do that? Sorry.
You don't know yet whether or not your pain conceals gold. It definitely conceals wisdom, and it's definitely a catalyst for filling you with empathy. So stand strong, my friends, and don't let the darkness consume you, because once you know the dark and become intimate with it, you become very capable of wielding the light. You could be instrumental for changing this world for the better. There's nothing humble about shrinking or doubting yourself because you are large. You can be ferocious, and you could be magnificent. For the medical industry, who too often let people fall through the cracks, it's your duty to do better. For the people living in the light, who have either stepped out of their shadow or have never had to walk beside it, it's your responsibility to put out untainted love. Our own greed, desire to ferociously expand, and decisions rooted in self-interest can benefit ourselves in a material sense, but can be very destructive to the hive and the world around us, ultimately hurting ourselves. So we really must consider that if we're going to step into a bright future. As humans, we have an incredible potential, and it would be a shame to throw it away. So community, humanity, and changing our relationship with the natural world so it leans more towards homeostasis must be a priority number one. If you're watching this and there's a knot tied up in your stomach with bitterness, anger, or hatred for your fellow human being, be with it, feel it, understand it, express it, and then let it go. You're hurting. Give yourself love, forgive yourself, and then project that love outwards, and the anger will pass. We have a decision in every interaction to tilt the world towards heaven or hell, towards Jannah or Jahannam, utopia or dystopia, and some people's ideas of heaven will be another's image of hell. So tread carefully, but treat those differences with respect. Tapestries are made beautiful because of the variety in the sum of their parts. Thank you to 1 million people inside this rich tapestry for the opportunity for me to try and spread my own vision of what I believe to be good. And thank you for justifying my pain. Thank you. I love you.
We love you too, Ren. We love you too. I didn't see like the last minute or so of that. So I think what he said there was important too. It's kind of amazing to think about it's kind of amazing to think about how open he's been with his audience. I honestly really believe that he's not writing for us. He's writing music for himself. He's journaling through his music. He's been really working through this emotions in front of all of us, all while going through physical military. I will predict that this is healing. 100%. TCF, I've mentioned it in the Discord and in some of my videos here, but this channel accidentally, excuse me, sorry, I didn't mean to burp into the mic. This channel accidentally became like my therapy. By being emotional with Ren's music and some of the other music on the channel, I've become more open emotionally. I've become more in tune with my own self and my own emotions. And that's helped me start healing. Obviously, I'm still going to therapy and stuff because it's a necessity. I have pride, so I'm trying not to do it with meds, but I don't fault anybody who has to do it with meds, right? That's you know, that everybody's different. But if it's healing for me to have a reaction channel where I open up about things, it's got to be extremely therapeutic for him to not only put his journal through music out there and show his art form and people enjoy it, but for people to have healing because of it, I think is extremely important. It's funny because so I pay attention obviously to numbers and stuff. You know, I'm not one of those people who just posts a video and then walks away. I see how well the videos do. I see how many comments I get. I try to respond to every single comment I get when I see them. You know, it's a funny thing, content creation, because you have to rely on other people a little bit to succeed. But you know, I have some of these journals that I've done, like the one I posted yesterday of me opening up, and I have them in the back that I'm hesitant to post and stuff. But I've found that it's really weird that those have got like the most views for a lot of my content. High Ren is the most, but then I have this why does it keep moving? I'm frustrated. Stop moving. Thank you. Right. I gotta fix this because if I don't, I'm gonna lose it. Sorry. Nah, I lost track of what I was saying. So High Ren, yeah, High Ren is probably like my biggest. Here, let's do this. Views. Actually, just go to my channel. Why am I? And this is not like, oh look, I'm promoting my fucking channel. It's I want to show you guys how being open like gets people interested. If I go here and I go to popular, High Ren is my biggest viewed, right? And that was an emotional song. But Chalk Outlines, Where I Cried, was my second. Obviously, this is just a great story. And then How to Be Me, again, I cried, and that's my fourth most. Then my fifth most isn't even me reacting. It's me discussing how Ren has changed my life and has made me emotional, right? Yesterday I posted this reaction, which only got 25 views. I immediately saw it and I said, fuck it, I'll release this one that I filmed about 2 or 3 months ago. And it's me talking about some of the things I'm going through. Some of you may have watched it, some of you might not have, but it's anyways, it has almost 1,000 views and I'm not even reacting to anything. So you guys have to remember, like, in March, I had 96 subscribers. So like Ren has changed my life in more ways than one. If we're just looking at like content creation wise, he's made a huge impact. If we're looking at like my life, he's made a huge impact there too. And it's because they're being authentic and they're being open. Like a lot of people don't like that. And I think that's what's important about the end of that was about compassion. He didn't say it, but he said it in a different way. We need to be compassionate, we need to have sympathy for each other, be there for each other, because without any of that, we don't have anything. And if we put down our fellow, you know, if we put down all our fellow humans, can't speak, and we're also putting down ourselves. So I think in that regard, we're very lost right now. I think I see a lot of, you know, people posting a lot of stuff about in streams, for instance. I watch a lot of streamers and there's nobody that's allowed to talk about being depressed and stuff because they don't want to bring anybody else down. It's like if somebody came into my stream, right, and they said, look, I'm thinking of harming myself, I would stop what I was doing and talk to them. And I'd say, you know, do you need to go into Discord and give me a call, whatever, we can talk through it. But I think people need to stop being so focused about what they're doing and start worrying about what's around them. Anyway, so that really struck a chord with me for sure. TCF, she hasn't heard Ren. So here's the thing. My wife and I, there's different couples. There's couples that have so much in common. They're like the female male versions of themselves. Then there's some couples who opposites attract, where, you know, they balance each other. And that's how my wife and I are. And that includes with music. I am not a huge fan of country music. That's all she listens to. She hasn't really like sat down and listened to Ren. But she'd probably be one of those people that appreciates the musicianship, but just wouldn't listen to it. And that's fine. Not everybody likes to listen to everybody, right? And I think that that's, again, I'm assuming. I don't know if I could play something for her. She might like some of the hip hop stuff, to be honest, because she does like hip hop. But I think the more emotional stuff, she probably won't like that much. She likes to listen to music to have a happy time. I like to listen to music for the emotion that it gives, for the emotions it makes me feel. So there's that as well. But I don't know. I haven't like played anything for her. My daughter is super into Chinchilla right now. So every time I'm like, what do you want to listen to? Not even a year ago, it was like, oh, I want to listen to Rain, Rain, Go Away. Now it's like, I want to listen to Little Girl Gone. I'm like, okay, calm down. You're not a teenager yet. You're not even 7 years old yet. But my daughter is into Chinchilla a lot. I missed, there's something, there's light. I've been there too, as you and I have discussed. Yeah, BMCF. I think I find light every day. I think we all find light every day, but we tend to focus on the negative. I think changing our mindset would be super helpful. Yeah, Aviar, that is just, I don't understand. I don't understand. I think people are so, and I'm not going to name like general, I'm just going to say there are people out there who, if you talk about that, if you talk about hurting yourself or offing yourself, that you're glamorizing it. So kids could see it and you're glamorizing that for kids. I mean, look at the CNN article that from fucking Ren's High Ren that ended up on there. I think that is just ridiculous because I think that's true about like talking about murder and stuff. Like you're not saying, oh, I want to go out and hurt this person, but we have it in movies and stuff. And like a lot of the badass villains and shit kill kill people, and a lot of the cool superheroes kill people, right? That's glamorizing stuff. But when we're discussing how we feel, our feelings and all that stuff, it's not glamorizing, it's bringing it to the forefront so we can discuss it, and it helps us relate, it helps us heal ourselves and not feel that way anymore. So it just, people want to, I don't want to get too political here, but people who like to call other people snowflakes then go and talk about how that's glamorizing. It's like, I mean, if you use that word snowflake, I feel like you're a snowflake yourself, but I don't want to get too political. Okay. That was a long tangent. I've been live for an hour, and I think like 30 minutes of it was that, but I think it's an important conversation to have. So I have a couple reactions I want to do. If you guys would like to you know, put in your reactions, there should be a link in the description of this, and you'll see it a bunch of times going on in the chat. You can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you can ask me any question you want. You guys have been good so far, but shoot me a bunch of questions. Shoot me a bunch. I'm down to get personal. I'm down to get a little down and dirty. Not too dirty, guys. This is kid-friendly stream. But ask me questions. I wanna get to know you guys, and you guys get to know me. People have to have a safe place to talk about it, because they need a safe place to talk about where they make the wrong choice. I don't know if it's necessarily they make the wrong choice. I think when you don't know something, you stay away from it. Just like somebody in my Kick chat was asking about the my opinions on the Israel and Palestine war. Like, I don't know enough about it, so I don't want to talk about something I don't know enough about, because I don't have all the information. Like, I don't want to sound ignorant, and I don't want to say something that could be taken the wrong way, because I don't have that knowledge. Remember now I was asking if you watch crime. It's because that in that genre, people have to be very mindful of what words to use. I started thinking about it anyway. You talking about when like they do the interrogations and stuff, and they're analyzing how you say things? That's super interesting to me, because I also feel like that's getting into like the human psyche, and like not just the human psyche, but like the almost like a analysis of language too, when they start analyzing how you're saying things. But it's really cool, that aspect of it. I think that's why I like it, is the interrogation part is really interesting, how they almost like manipulate them, to be honest with you, but it's to get down to what they're trying to talk about. What's it gonna do? Was that for me, VMCF? If I'm feeling better, I'm good, man. I'm, and by the way, man is a general term for me. I'm good. I have good and bad days. Some days are better than others, but I'm doing all right now. Many YouTubers use words like unalive, but I'm totally with you on the interrogation parts. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I say those. I just say the words. I'm not big enough right now to where they're gonna do something, and if they go in and later do something, then it is what it is. VMCF, I appreciate that, man. Love you too. Here's the thing, right? Like that I think it's time I come clean video. It was like 3 months ago. A lot has changed since then. At that point, I wasn't diagnosed yet with general depression, and I'm diagnosed with that now. And in my session on Monday, I had therapy every Monday. I mentioned that, like, I think coming to terms with that has made it worse, meaning like my depression, because I feel like I failed not just myself, but like my family, because I can't get past it. So like, it's one thing to like say, oh yeah, I think I have depression, but not get diagnosed. Like, it's a possibility, but now like I have it. It's just like, it's coming to that realization has been a little bit difficult for me. But that's what the therapy is about. I do want to say on that, I'm gonna turn off the music for a second because, and do this real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna do this real quick. Oh no, I'm gonna break my camera. Fucked up, guys. Hold on. Give me a second. I broke it. Okay. My bad. I pushed the wrong button. We got auto. We got auto. I want this on. Let me make sure we're peachy. Okay, everything else is good. Okay, my bad, guys. Now I really lost my train of thought. I wanted to say, and I might info dump on you in Discord later. You're good, TCF. That's what it's for. Like, if you can, however you want, you can DM me. You can send to, you know, the venting spot, whatever you want to do. There's a Discord for anybody who wants to join. I don't know. I was gonna get super personal, and then that fucking threw me off. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Somebody help me. I broke the internet. What happened? Oh, Nightbot, shut the fuck up. Goddamn Nightbot. I don't remember what I was saying. Did Nightbot just really block? Hold on, TCF, I got you. I'll fix this shit right now. Spam protection. Excess caps. Disable. Fuck you, Nightbot. Silencing a member like that. Yabish, Nightbot, Yabish. I don't remember what I was gonna say. But I was gonna get super personal for a second. The look, I think it's hard for people to come to terms with the fact that they all have depression. And for me, really, I don't want to get too far into it, but I take a lot of pride in being that driving force for my kids, and when I can't do that, I spiral. The biggest thing that impacts my anxiety is my parenting. So like if I do something or I lash out at the kids or something, I beat myself up over it, and it just creates this spiral of like, why did I do that? It causes me more anxiety. It's just a whole ridiculous thing. But I don't remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna get super deep, and I totally got fucking mind blocked. So it is what it is, I guess. It's only a warning. Good. Trying to think. Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. Anyways, y'all got any more questions? But I noticed a lot of you were saying on that video that not to worry about the trolls. I don't worry about the trolls. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. No, like I said, I have found out a lot more things since then. I don't know what you guys know, so if you need context, you can watch that video, or you don't, that's fine. But since that time, things have gotten worse with the whole situation with my family member. Yeah, VR. I blame myself a lot, and I think that's kind of taking pride. Look, I grew up in a society in my era where it was right towards the end of Generation X's reign on the world, right? And this isn't me hating on Generation X. I have a point to it, but the whole thing there is like, you need to be macho. Man, meat, eat meat. We fight for our family. Like, you got to be this macho dude. So it's ingrained in me to just have it be a negative connotation that I have depression and anxiety. And I think that is why that's making my depression worse. So it's this vicious cycle that just it's ongoing. It keeps happening. You know, I have a lot of issues with, because of that particular family member, that I didn't know I had. And I know I mentioned in that video that there's a lot of like childhood trauma that I'm just coming to terms with. But as I've had time to talk about it, both in therapy with family members, stuff my dad like never told me about, I asked him, like, I need you to tell me about some of these things. If there was anything you didn't tell me about, I need to know, because I know you were trying to shield me as a kid, but I'm 33 and going through these things. I need to know information. And he told me a lot of things that like sealed the deal about it. You know, I confided in my dad about some of the stuff and like how I'm feeling about it, how I don't know how to deal with some of it, how should I deal with it. And ultimately he kind of, you know, he basically said what other people have been saying, but he added something to it that really stuck with me. You know, he said, you need to do what what is best for you and your family. And if staying in touch with that person, I don't know why I'm saying it like it's Voldemort. It's my mom. If ultimately keeping in contact with your mom and keeping a relationship with her is going to make you worse anxiety wise, depression wise, then you definitely should do what you think is best. But what he said, and it wasn't something he said to me. I walked away to go take a shit or something. I do that a lot. But he basically, like, when I told him all these things, my wife was there. I walked away. He told my wife, like, he feels responsible for a lot of that stuff. And he kind of like broke down. And my dad's emotional, but he doesn't cry very much. And she told me that he like kind of got teary eyed and had to walk away. But I think the fact that he didn't like get defensive, like, oh, that wasn't me, right? Like, he just automatically, even when he shouldn't have, he took responsibility for how I am, like, in the childhood trauma. Like, my mom is not doing that. She's playing the victim on all of this. I think that kind of sealed the deal. There's a lot to it, and if you guys want to know more, I can go into a little bit here, but the Discord is a good place for that, because I've opened up about it a lot. But I'm gonna post another video follow up to this probably next couple weeks of my journey with this. But I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of just acquaintances because not only what I'm going through, but just because I put my family first and foremost. And if you're gonna fuck with them, then I'm not gonna fuck with you anymore. And that's my mentality, and that goes for family members, that goes for friends, acquaintances, goes for everybody. The only exception to that is my dad, because he's been there for me. He's been the only person who has never, like, he's just a good guy, and he's been my best friend my whole life. So you know, that's the only exception. But, and if you guys have kids, man, like, you understand, once you have kids, your well-being is only a priority so that you can be a good parent to them, right? Like, everything revolves around your kids. And I'm not saying you cater to them, but I'm like, you try to better your career, not for just for your pride, but more so to make sure that your kids have a better understanding of life and a better life than you had. And that's really what this boils down to. There's a lot of other things that I've went through that I'm not going to get into. Like I said in that video, there's some things I'm just not going to talk about because of, it doesn't just affect me, it affects other people, stuff I did or stuff people have done because of stuff I did that affect their lives that I'm responsible for, that I have to live with. But yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Any other questions that you guys got? Like I said, I have a couple reactions, one of which I'm super excited to get into because of what's to come for this particular artist. I'm not going to give it away yet. If there's no more other questions, I can definitely start doing this reaction. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one a lot. Give it a surround yourself with positive people that want the same goal. Yeah. I don't... The thing is, like... And you guys saw how much Crutch affected me. I think a lot of my stress, honestly, is how much weight I'm putting on my wife. She's way more stronger. The thing about being a parent is that you don't have to be perfect. Just do your best. Look at your kids. They are a representation of your parenting. I think Aviar, like, I'm very much like, the things I can't control, I don't dwell on for the most part, because I can't control that, right? Like, you know, a fucking storm coming through and taking away I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at with this, but the things I can't control, like if there's no way to prevent something from that happened bad that I couldn't control, like, yeah, it sucks, but I'm not going to dwell on it because there's nothing I could have done. Right. So that includes like how people act, how people react, how people feel about something that was said to them. All these plethora of things that I have no control over. Stuff that I do that I 100% have control over. Those are the things that drive me insane and give me anxiety and bring me down into the dumps sometimes. But a lot of times when people are like, I don't understand how somebody could do that to themselves or to their family or to their kids. And I get it. I 100% get. My kids, for me, have saved me. But they're also awesome because you're a great mom, TCF. You gotta give yourself some credit. My ears hurt. Give me a sec. Okay. I think I'm gonna mute the. There we go. Okay. The video end. Yeah, it was only like a 5-minute video, IVR. Are you talking about my stream? My stream's still up unless I'm missing something. I still see it up for me. Yeah, it's still up. I get that aspect of it. Like, you shouldn't. Anybody who would do that to their family or their kids is like a bad person. But at the same time, and this goes for a lot of things in life, do you understand what lies within like that whole offing yourself or the thoughts of offing themselves? Most of the time it's not like a thought out process. Most of the time it's like you hit an extreme low at this particular time and nothing that you could think of could fix how you feel. It's almost like you black out. Like, that's how I interpret it. It's I don't know. The amount of people that say they don't understand it, it's because they don't understand it. They need to learn about it. But the blaming yourself, I think it's common, man. That's kind of what Hiren is about. Obviously, there's a lot more that talks about or alludes to, but I think we all go through it, whether people want to believe it or not. I think being defensive, like for me, I'm really defensive at work because I take pride in what I do, but also because if somebody says I do something wrong, even if I've done something wrong, I don't want to admit to myself that I did something wrong. I think a lot of us go through that. So I'm not going to tell you what the video is that we're going to do right now, but I'll give you a hint. Oh, almost gave it away. It's a video that is part 1 of 2, soon to be part 1 of 3. Can you guess it? Can you guess it? Can y'all still hear me? Because it sounded like my stream went out. I just want to make sure I'm still here. Damn, VMCF, you are good. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do that today. I still want to get into Genesis. I still want to get into his whole Freckled Angels album, because that's like his mainstream-esque album, which I'm very curious about. But I want to get in this Money Game because his song, the new one's coming out in like a little more than 2 weeks. And I need to get through this one. I need to get through the original Money Game. This one and the second Money Game before I can get to that one. So that is what we are going to do today. Everybody who's here, say hello. Say hello, YouTube. I think it's just you and I, VMCF. For now. Let me set this up real quick. Whoops. This and this. Hello. Yeah, it says 4. That's fine. All right. So I'm going to hit the record button. We're going to start this. But I'm excited to get into this. Let me make sure this is... That's good, I think. All right. I'm going to hit the record, do my little intro soiree, and then we can get into it. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Members of the Fly Music Society, welcome back to the channel. So I am live right now. We're doing a nice AMA stream, just talking about random stuff. But I wanted to do this reaction live. Ren is releasing Money Game Part 3 pretty quickly here, and I have not seen either of them. I have not seen Money Game 1 or Part 1 or Part 2, and I really want to get into it. A friend of mine was telling me that this one is honestly a better video production quality than High-Ren, which to me seems like aiming really high. And again, stuff suggests that's subjective, but I'm excited to get into this. Another hip-hop one, but this is one of the more popular one of his that people go to show to others. So like I said, I'm really excited for this. Before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. For those of you that are new here, what we do on the channel is I listen to the song or watch the video. I interject here and there as I see fit. And then from there, we talk about the message and we talk about the music. Both are very important to me. Also, right now I'm doing a special on my Patreon. Any member-only videos on my YouTube will be free until August 6th on my Patreon. So if you see something that says members only, head over to my Patreon. It's probably up there already, ready to go for you guys to watch, free to the public. I also have 2 videos right now that I have yet to release on YouTube that are there also for free. This is to get people kind of in tune with my Patreon. Patreon's going to have a lot of stuff moving forward, including my TV watch-alongs, unedited and uncut, as well as my movie watch-alongs, unedited and uncut. And our first movie we're going to be doing is... I can't think of it. Shit. What's the name of that movie? What's the name of the movie? Oh no. Here. Clockwork Orange. There we go. A Clockwork Orange is going to be our first movie reaction in the new template for the channel. So I'm really excited for that. It will be on my Patreon, uncut and unedited, and those will start out as paid, and I eventually will on my Patreon they will be uncut, unedited, but you have to pay for them to see them, and then eventually, probably a week or 2 later, I will post on my YouTube for the public. So just bear that in mind. If you want to support the channel, you can go to the Patreon, become a patron there. and you will get to see some of these uncut, unedited, and extremely in advance. So long-winded intro, but that's important to me. All right, without further ado, let's get into this. I know that many of you are excited for me to Ren's money game. Welcome in, guys. Everybody say hello, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. You guys are gonna be in a video. So say hello. We're gonna react to Ren money game right now. And yet to hear it. Okay, let's start. We got this. We got that. All right. Here we go.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs.
Okay. All the people that come into the comment section saying I talk too much, fuck you. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm in a mood today. I'm in a mood. I want to talk about this. Sounds like it's also live. You hear the ropes sliding. The guitar, which maybe it isn't live because he's not playing the guitar unless there's somebody else there, but the guitar sounds like it's it's peaking, which is also possibly that it's live. But you can kind of hear rustling around him, his jacket rustling live. I want to make sure I pay attention to the lyrics. I believe I had them up somewhere. I was ready. Here we go. Okay, let's go.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria.
All right. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Yeah. He talks about parliament, the parliament interior too. I don't know a lot about how parliament works in the UK, but hierarchy parties definitely, at least it seems like they do their best to make us feel like we are lesser than we are, right? All America's run by corporations. It's not run by the president. It's run by corporations. It's run by the top 1%. And everything they do is to help their bottom line, to help the bottom line of companies. Therefore, all of us are left in the dust because they just don't care. Definitely agree with that. Greed runs through the parliament interior. Yeah, it's all about greed. It's all about making that money, whatever they can do to help them make more money. That's what it is. Devil walks among us. They fit the criteria. They're devils. I love it.
Yeah, eerie, theory, stripe, fearing, weary. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie, theory, stripe, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships, nearly blinded by illusions to choose.
He said, eerie theory, strike fear in weary-minded men. Right? That's the whole conspiracy theories end up being what we fall back on because we're so scared of everything that's going on. We're clearly living in dictatorships. You know, America's a republic. I know people think it's a democracy, but it is not. But it's definitely run like it's a dictatorship, isn't it? We have the one up top. Again, I don't know about, I'm American, so I'm stupid. I don't know about other governments, but we definitely run things here like it's a dictatorship. You know, the president has the say for the most part on most things and can basically do whatever he wants if he wanted to, aside from going to war, which still, if he really wanted to, can make that decision. As stinky as our own government. I bet it's as stinky as our own government. Let me do this so I can see. I'm making this easy on myself. Okay, Let's go.
Walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, strike fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in the.
By the way, that rhyme scheme: eerie theories strike fury in weary-minded men. Eerie theories strike. Wait, it's eerie theories strike fear in weary-minded. So it's a 5-syllable rhyme scheme there. Really cool. Again, switching it up. Ren's really good at creating these like really complex syllable rhymes that I really enjoy. It's really, really sick right there. Go back.
Eerie theory, strike fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose who's fooling who. A ball chained to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns.
Wow, man. I think the visuals here are really cool. Right, they're in like, it almost looks like an abandoned subway, something like that. This person's tied up playing the guitar. Is that Romaine? Sick. That's really cool. But he has him tied up and stuff, basically forced him to play guitar. Talks about all chained to your shoes, right? We're all prisoners in this what he calls basically a greed game. And the pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets a whole world burn, right? Again, they're treating our lives, our livelihoods, our well-being as a game for greed, as a game for money. They treat it like, oh, let's have a competition to see who can make the most money. And he's going after governments right now and the rich ass people. I'm liking the theme of this, and I like the video visuals.
Chained to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
Interesting. Before we go further, I'm trying to let the verses go and then go back because I'm going to stop this every 2 minutes otherwise. He said, the pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes create a game that's whole world burn. We said that as the world turns, the whole world burns. Money was invented for trade, which is true. But now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves. Ouch. Yeah. We're so enthralled by getting rich. These bits of paper, which money is, right? Cash money. It makes us slaves to work. It makes us slaves to becoming so enthralled in making money at any cost that we're a slave to it. It runs how we live our lives. Turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. Its finger on the trigger of a money game. Man. Literally putting finger on the trigger of a money game. This money game is the gun that's killing society. Christopher Beckman, what's good, man? We are recording a reaction to Money Game by Ren right now. This is going deep. Okay, and then rain, go away. Oh, rain, a storm, it comes our way, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we like to point the blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Yeah. I mean, we follow it. We have to, but we all follow it. We're all responsible for allowing the greed to continue. It's deep, man. This is really deep. That hook, his voice on that hook, amazing. I love Ren's musical hooks, and I like how he went into it by doing the last verse. Finger on the trigger of a money game. I like how he sang it, that last part. And how he stopped. Really, really cool. Let's keep going.
But point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
You can hear him walking around. You can hear the wind a little bit. Some fan or AC or something running in the background. Another one take? Is this another one take? Why you hit him with that? Ooh. Even his humming is beautiful.
This old money game.
Ooh, I like that. He used the bat as like a syncopated tom right there. That's really cool. Syncopation, for those of you guys that don't know, is when you're playing a beat that's not on the beat. It's on the upstroke, right? So the beat is doom ch, the ch is up the upbeat. So let's 1 and 2 and 3. Can you see? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Syncopation is you're playing on the ands. So that's syncopation, right? And he's doing that with the bat. It up.
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate. When they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say badly through gritted teeth. That's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech.
Were that triplets? That just happened? I gotta hear that. So he said, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. Yeah, those are triplets. Triplet rhyme scheme. This guy and his rhyme schemes, man. I think his brain is implanted from a lot of like other musicians. I think that's my conspiracy, and I'm gonna stick with it. It's like, there's no way this dude is that talented. By the way, speaking of which, Murderer, he's ripped as fuck also. Like, come on, guy. Save some talent for the rest of us. Took me a while to believe this was live. It sounds so good. It sounds amazing for it being live. But I have no doubt that they spend a meticulous amount of time, or they were very meticulous and they spent a lot of time trying to get it right. I want to hear that this part again.
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate. When they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say badly through gritted teeth. That's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech. But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder that savages colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you...
I want to stop. I mean, I don't want to stop, but I fear when they support the idea to keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. It's my right to hate freedom of speech. They want us to be scared. They want us to believe we have freedom of speech, but also freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from repercussions, right? yeah, you can say the nastiest shit you want. That's fine. You're not going to get in trouble for speaking your mind, but you're going to get in trouble for things you might say, right? There's a difference there. And I think a lot of people fail to realize that, like, oh, they're just words, man. It's freedom of speech. UK, we have freedom of expression when what to say impacts someone else, it's illegal. I'm all for that. Look, people use the like freedom of speech thing as a crutch or as like a cop out, in my opinion. I think that they use it a lot to pretend that they don't have to be responsible for a lot of that stuff. But people have to realize just because you are allowed to say what you want doesn't mean you can't get, like, you might not necessarily go to jail for it, but you're definitely going to ruffle some feathers and, you know, there's going to be some type of repercussion for it. All right, let's keep going.
Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you denigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you denigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom. Demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant, cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent. I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome. And also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old.
Oh my god. Bro, just like, is going after every fucking thing. My brain hurts. No. Everything he's saying is right. I think let me do this. All right, guys. There we go. So he said there's an irony in freedom because us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered and murdered like savages. Facts. Colonize all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Yeah. And your country was in flame. If your country was in flame, you'd emigrate yourselves in a second. Still spit your venom demonizing immigrants when really you're an immigrant because all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent. I'll shed the light on immigrants. Yeah. They talk about how American were colonized by Britain and Britain then the Rome, colonized by Saxons who were German, and we talk shit about the Germans because of all the history. Like, we're all a fucking melting pot. Literally, we're all a melting pot. There's no... We're one human race, guys. I understand that people are going to say cultures make people who they are, which is very valid. But... It's... I think people don't understand, like... And then the main thing he said was that we're not learning from history. We're not learning what happens when people do that. What happens when people are prejudiced. What happens, and if and yet we make the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same, and the old situations play on repeat. Right? We just keep repeating history. It's cyclical. Bro, I'm. Like I have to like take a second to take it in, you know? All right, here we go.
Situations play on repeat. The same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak. Our opinions aren't our own and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right. In the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
Bro, relax. Relax.
funny game.
Bro, like, could you imagine if this was a real scenario and somebody like kidnapped you, forced you to play guitar for them, and like at that moment they stopped and started like humming sweetly in your ear? How fucking creepy that is. I was like enthralled in that for that whole part. Ren's building a fucking lore. Who is this person? Why did he kidnap him? What is he trying to do? I want answers fucking right now. Guy's a genius at storytelling and story building. We saw it with Jenny and Screech, but this is with the visuals. And his acting, as always, is on point. She's gonna be naked. Just kidding, guys. Calm down. Why? Okay, guys. I have to ask you. Imagine you went through what Ren went through, right? And you were still fucking ripped. Why is he still ripped, guys? Like, I make excuses that I'm lazy, and that's why I have this fucking pouch, this pooch. He has way more excuses than I do. Now I feel like I'm being guilted into working out. Sorry, let's continue. Change the mic, saw that. Interesting. %100% BMCF. 100%. Ben's as old as me. What do you mean? Oh, this is dark as fuck. Holy shit, I did not expect that ending. Alright, I understand. I understand what my friend was talking about. I have to process. Must process, can't compute. Let me fix this and then I'm gonna talk about it real quick. Gonna be stuck in my head forever. Forever and ever. Nobody? Meant to be together, I'll be there and you'll be here. Nobody? do, 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 do. Summer loving, having a blast. Burning monk immolation. I was thinking the same. Y'all gonna have to. I have no idea what the hell you're saying. He was sitting like a monk. But what is it supposed to symbolize? Help me out here. I'm stupid. Keep singing. I'm dancing. Okay. Gotcha. This is why it's great to have the chat. So apparently, guys, according to my chat, that last section there symbolizes him taking responsibility for some of what's going on. That's really interesting. That whole ending, I get what my friend was saying, like this production-wise is a lot better. This is super dark right here. You guys can't see it, but when he's like going to burn himself. I gotta say something. That's at least like olive oil, right? Because that's not water. The water is not thick consistency like that. So he even went the extra to make that look real. That's amazing. Let's talk about it. I think what I like about, you guys mentioned Rage Against the Machine. What I like about bands like that, System of a Down, Rage Against the Machine, is calling out stuff that's wrong with governments, politics, society. And I think it's important that people talk about it. Vietnamese. You guys on YouTube can still hear me, right? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. There's a history since the Buddhist monks setting. That's nuts. So that's what that's symbolizing. Got it. No, I think it's important for groups, especially when they're popular, to talk about that. But the way that Ren paints a picture, the way that he has all these different rhyme schemes, the way that all that stuff it's apparent. We've seen it before, but this one was different. I feel like he kind of went at governments. He went at the hierarchy here, and he's mentioned it before in some of his songs, like "Illest of Our Time." He talks about that a little bit. He has a phrase that this whole thing was about it, and the intensity at which he rapped in this song shows you how important it is to him and how much he feels about it and how he feels about it. A lot of that is acting for the video, but I think a lot of it also is he feels that. The visuals on this were really, really cool. I do think that this is probably one of the better visuals of all of his videos. That has like the sepia tone to the video, making him kind of seem like a somebody who's fighting back against it, and then at the very end realizes he's part of the issue. So if he's gonna try to take somebody down for what they're doing, he's got to take himself down too. And he even mentions in the song about looking in the mirror because we're all responsible. It all comes back around. Really, 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 really cool. I still think Murder is my favorite, but visually speaking, this is probably my favorite video. And that hit pretty hard. That ending sequence where he pours the gas on himself and lights himself. Obviously, you don't see that part, but I'm curious to see what Money Game 2 is going to be, because wouldn't that mean he's dead? See, there's a lore here, and I want to fucking know what's going to happen next. What is going to happen next? All right. I appreciate you guys so much for the support. Chat, you were popping for this, and you helped me out with figuring out some of the visuals and stuff. I really do appreciate that. If you like this content, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let me know if there's anything I missed in the comments. I have found that since Hyren, I haven't been as on top of my game lately. A lot of that is stuff I have going on, but a lot of that is just I'm trying to get more into feeling the music than just analyzing it, because that can get boring. But I do miss a lot of stuff sometimes, and I appreciate that. But so let me know in the comments what I missed. Let me know in the comments what the next Ren song should be. I'm 100% going to pretty soon here do the entirety of Freckled Angel's album. So I might make it one video, just do an hour video of me reacting or cut them up. We'll see. But I appreciate the support and love you guys showed on the channel. Love you guys so much, and please do remember that good vibes are contagious. Oh my god, couldn't breathe at the end. I think you would probably be surprised how mainstream ideas and concepts like this are much more mainstream in Europe than... Are you talking about how Ren feels about it, or are you talking about... Oh no, Jeff, I'm still here, bro. That was the ending of my recording. I was recording. I'm still here. You'd be surprised how mainstream ideas and concepts like this are much more mainstream. Are you talking about what Ren is saying, or are you talking about what are you talking about specifically? Oh yeah, let's put music back on. I can't live without music. By the way, I figured out what I was gonna say. Anti-capitalism. America is all about capitalism. Even the citizens have been brainwashed to be all for capitalism. Oh shit. BMCF, thank you for becoming a member. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, I don't want to spill that and break all my shit, but appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel. I love you. I love you. Americans denounce socialism, and a lot of that is how they are educated to perceive it, and who writes the definitions of socialism out here. The government approves everything that's in the schools, and that is something else we could talk about. But in doing this video, real quick, and we'll get back to it. In doing this video, and the last thing I said, I remember what I was going to say when I was going to get intimate for a second. So I want to do that real quick because it's important. I think you guys might have realized that a lot of my videos lately, I haven't been so emotional. That was a really late, bro. Thank you for becoming a member of EMCF. I appreciate you. It means a lot to me. I cannot read what the fuck that said. A lot of, you can probably notice a lot of my recent videos that I've been very kind of stoic, not emotional. It's kind of been an irritant to me lately, just because I want to be fully there. But part of this is me dealing with my depression, and it's made me numb to a lot of things. So I'm hoping to get over that eventually. So just bear with me, because I don't want to lose you guys, but at the same time, it's something that I can't control. Hold on. Say hello. 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 Okay. That's my son, Rowan. So yeah, bear with me on that, because I'm having issues. Like, I'm getting more in touch with my emotion, but I'm so drained doing that through therapy and stuff that at the end of the day, like, I have no bandwidth to also pour myself out through the video. So I'm trying to figure that out. And it's definitely made me like very irritated at me not having that capacity anymore to be emotional like I was in those videos. But I'm working on it. So bear with me on that. But there you go. That was my get emotional. That was really cool, guys. That's understandable, and also stop worrying about it. No, I refuse. No, it's hard for me, man. I'm one of those people that are you on Discord? I'm always on Discord. Did you post something in there? Thanks for the live. I'm still here. Oh, I don't know if he is. Are you sitting there? We each ebb and flow. Yeah, but this is different, man. I don't even really know how to explain it, to be honest with you. But I'll get there. But yeah, this was really cool. I think I'll stay on for about 15 more minutes if you guys want to ask anything. If you can get in now if you do want to request one more reaction. But I'm gonna try and get off really quick here, finish up some work, and then hang out with this little one and the other little ones. What? You see yourself? He's silly. Here's the Discord again for you. It should come up in a second here. I believe it's also in the description of my videos and of this one. There you go. It's right there for you to view. So there's that. I think, like I said, great. Not my favorite song of his. It's definitely high up there. But it's definitely my favorite video for sure of his. Just the artistry in it, the dark undertones, the subject matter. I really liked this one. This one has 2.9 million views. Yeah, see. I would have enjoyed Money Game too, but I'll probably do it off stream. Well, we'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. I'm trying to do at least one stream a day. My wife and I are trying out this new schedule now where we switch off nights with the baby. So maybe now, the nights I don't have the baby, we can do a night stream and we can do some more of these. But I definitely want to do Money Game Part 2. And there's a live rendition also. How about this? Next stream, next week, I will do Money Game Part 2, double feature with Money Game Part 2 live. And then the week after, or my next stream after, I will do the two Genesis. The Genesis studio version and then the Genesis acoustic. How does that sound, guys? I will promise to do that next time. I think that'll be a good thing. Yeah, any requests, you can put them now. Any questions you have for me, this is an AMA stream. Otherwise, I think I'll call it for the day. Just let me know. Genesis double +1. People have been requesting that, and I don't think anybody else has like done the double feature like that, so I'm gonna do it. I think if there was somebody, it would have been accidentally, it would have been Black Pegasus. But I think that would be really cool. All right, guys. See, I've been live for about 2 hours. That's decent. 3 is like the minimum you're supposed to do, but I'm tired. And my son wants my attention, so family first. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Feel free to join the Discord. I think today at some point I'm gonna create a section called is that you, VCMF? I'm gonna create a portion in the Discord where you can ask me questions and I'll answer them. I think that will be a cool thing to have, and then we can continue the AMA on the Discord if you'd like. All right. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out. TCF. Hey, time flies when you're having fun. TCF. Whatever you wanted to say in the Discord, always open to answering and responding. Thanks for the live stream. It was great. Appreciate that, EVR. This was the real one as opposed to the test one the other day. So I really do appreciate you guys. Really means a lot that you guys would like to hang out with me all day or 2 hours, and it means a lot that you guys want to watch my reactions to videos. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I'm trying to think if there's anybody live right now that I want to push you over to. Let's see. Before I say goodbye, even if you just go and say hello. Yes, I know I need to do that Casey Chambers cover too. There's so many I need to do. Armin, what else? I don't. Okay, I don't think anybody's live right now on YouTube. A lot. Here we go. All right. When I end here, you all are gonna go over to Locked Wolf. He's doing reactions right now, talking, having fun. Let them know I sent you over. Just say McFly JP sent you over, and just hang out, say hi. Or if you just want to say hi and leave, that's totally fine too. But appreciate the support, guys. Thank you so much. And please do